absolutely honoured to stand before you here at the Zionist Federation. You are all doing such important work to raise awareness on these issues, and I'm particularly glad to let you know that obviously I'm leading that debate. And I'm leading that debate because I'm a former secondary school teacher. I've been extremely concerned to learn of the incitement to violence and anti-Semitism in Palestinian textbooks being used by school children every day. I was very lucky to go with the Conservative Friends of Israel to visit the amazing country of Israel, and obviously go into Gaza and meet with the Palestinian authorities in that time as well to hear what they had to say on the situation. And it was abundantly clear when you walk through the streets of Jerusalem, Jew and Arab side by side, living in harmony, but yet the Palestinian Authority has absolutely no interest in a two-state solution, no matter how many times they say they want it. We simply know when we go on their TV and you watch the fact that you've got time and time again the calling for the State of Israel to be abolished, and every single day have to live with that threat. And to see them a thriving democracy, as Ian said, 3 elections, what could be more democratic than having to keep going back and forth? So I really, really admire the State of Israel and all that it wants to achieve in that two-state solution. And it was mentioned time and time again by government ministers that they want a peaceful solution. And there are people on the Palestinian side who want a two-state solution. And sadly, they are crowded out by the extremists, by the anti-Semites, by the people who are terrorists, and let's not pretend they're anything but that. And we need to make sure that we call them out and to see what they're doing with their curriculum. There's kids in primary school and in secondary school being told that martyrdom is a positive thing. To be told that if you want, as a 14-year-old boy, to get 72 virgin wives, then to sacrifice yourself by killing a Jew. To see that girls are being told that they can be treated as equal to boys by committing these heinous acts, utterly appalls me. Goes against everything that UNESCO says that they expect, even when there is education. And as we heard, and as I heard from some friends earlier of mine, at the end of the day, there are many other conflict zones in the world, and yet, and Ian tragically comes from one in Northern Ireland, their curriculum does not incite in any way, shape or form violence upon people who they may have difference of opinions on. So why is it that somehow the Palestinian Authority think they're exempt from the rest of the world's rules, and they can incite that hatred? And I hope that we will get a really strong response, because, and I'm just reading through this patch, when I see that 31 of the Palestinian Authority official schools are named after terrorists, when I see that 3 are named after Nazi collaborators, I mean, if that doesn't tell you what they think of the State of Israel, but more importantly, if that shows you the little regard they have for the children in their country, then that tells you everything you need to know. And that breaks my heart, because my grandmother, my step-grandmother, is from Germany. She was born in 1928. Her entire education was under Nazi rule. And I see the shame that she carries, for no fault of her own, but just by being German, living in this country, the fact that she can't talk about it because she feels a responsibility for just simply being German. And I see the shame happens, and to see that they think that that's some way of taunting the Israeli people by sending out a message of where obviously they want to see. I think it's utterly repugnant and disgusting, and we should absolutely never be ashamed to say that, because for too long in this house, Brexit allowed to dominate too much the news cycle. We were almost battered into submission, and I apologise for going party political here, from a Labour Party that have absolutely no love nor interest in the State of Israel whatsoever. And I hope that they will finally start to show that they are learning some lessons and turn up and support me in my motion and ask for that review, because if they want to win back any trust with the Jewish community in the United Kingdom, if they want to show any belief in democracy in the Middle East, which Israel is, then they will come up and say that this is not good enough. Because it's the German socialists who are demanding in the EU that this curriculum be abolished. So if that doesn't tell Labour something, I don't know what will. And if they can't get on board with people who they share ideological, political ideology with, then blimey, we're in for a Labour Party that I hope to God will never ever get near power, because they simply will just be putting up a middle finger to the State of Israel by doing that. We know that Impact SE, and I'm delighted to see obviously my friend here who was taking me through some of the key facts earlier today, so I'm repeating and hoping not to steal too much of his thunder. But the idea is that when he was taking us through all the different, examples that exist, the physical copies of the books that have been got, there can be no denial. And there is this lazy assumption that because the Palestinian Authority will put something out in English, in order for us to read, and then instantly on their websites or their Facebook pages, whatever it is, in Arabic, as if somehow we're not going to check if they're sending out 2 messages, is utterly, well, means that they don't take us seriously, nor do they think we're smart enough to realise what they're doing. So I say no more to this. I hope the Westminster Hall debate will really challenge the government to demand that UK aid money is used appropriately. Ian perfectly made that point earlier on as well. I hope that it will come about that this government will be asking for that review to come forward quicker, that we get some answers to the questions, and that when we get the report published, that publishment is made public, because every single one of you, including the MPs in this room, deserve to read it. I am a proud supporter of Israel, and I'm a proud Zionist. Thank you very much.